Beef, why do you have such a problem with me?
Can we get the real Andy? I would prefer the real Andy.
Oh, let's get the real Max. I'll take off my mask when you take off your mask, brother.
Because who's your new favorite YouTuber, Ian, that wanted to be on the show with us?
The Madman. The Madman.
Mad Movie Man.
Let's bring on Max Movies because he scares the living shit out of me. Hold on.
Oh, wow.
Mad Max says, I think you should apologize. Right? I'm sitting here in a goddamn torn down pool house.
I don't even know
the pool house is torn apart. Okay, it's torn apart because I'm remodeling on my $70 webcam. Okay, I'm no better than you.
Movie Madness Entertainment.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Midnight Madness, MME Late. I don't know what this is. I'm not on camera because I'm eating my baked enchiladas, but there's actually a lot of good news tonight. Well, not good. There's a lot of news. Some of it is extremely good. Brian might not be here long because he get a little sleepy.
Yes, sir.
He's got some stuff to handle this weekend. And but maybe we should start off with the great news first. Just so you guys know, let me bring this up, and I think I will do a clip out of this. If you're just getting here, remember to smash the heck out of the like button for MME content, because it really, really helps. And I wasn't sure if I was going to stream again tonight, but there's just so much to talk about. I actually got to read the comics for tomorrow. I got to get ready for that collab tomorrow. I'm really looking forward to it, though. Having to read is not a bad problem. You know, it's two comics, two issues, so
it's not incredibly taxing.
Yeah. But I have a collab tomorrow, like at 1, I believe. So, Callie, get up here. I just told you, girl. Don't wake up the neighbors. Callie. Actually, hold on. I am going to have to lock the basement because she keeps going down and barking out the back door.
Ah, damn it. All right. Okay, go ahead.
All right, I'll be right back.
Handle your business. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I was not expecting to talk. I am super duper tired. Anyways, yeah, I don't know what he was planning on talking about tonight. So I'll just stall for time. Could do that. Let's see here. Fast X Backlash for rap article. Guardian 3 box office is on fire. More MME live late night. I mean, it is a throwback. I mean, we got Chubby Teddy in the house tonight. Pool Boy and the Bree make a cute couple. I'm not gonna lie. They kind of do.
Hey. You drank coffee, so you're wide awake. Oh boy, senior nerd.
Uh-oh.
All right,
Max,
so
send him a link. There you go.
No.
You could talk with a wired senior nerd.
Maybe. Send me after Brian heads out for sleep, senior nerd. If you want to send me a DM on Twitter, I'll send you a link. But let's start with the good news, because it's great to get good news, especially when you're dealing with this type of situation. This comes to us via let me bring up the correct article. Okay, this comes via Variety, and this is also heads up for that Daily Loud Twitter handle. They've been like harassing Ben Affleck as well, saying he keeps fighting with J-Lo, and they keep doing like weird pauses and images of his face where he's just talking to his wife. And this Daily Loud is where they're like, it's getting worse and prepare for the worst. But actually, according to Variety, and then Twitter actually started putting like, you know how they did for the elections, like footnotes. This isn't disputed. This isn't come. Now I'm not getting into political talk, but you know how they did those annotations for the COVID and elections. They started doing that for this because it really was getting people really concerned about Jamie Foxx. But hopefully this is accurate. Someone popped in. Voltaire's here. Hey, Voltaire.
Hi, Jets. How are you?
Great. So this is really good news about Jamie Foxx. If this is accurate, I trust Variety over this Daily Loud on Twitter. You know how it's been going, especially this week. I think I'm gonna call them out because I've seen them also harassing Ben Affleck about J-Lo. Oh, him and J-Lo are fighting on the red carpet, and they just took some weird freeze. It's really easy to get a freeze frame of someone's when they're talking to make them look angry, out of context frame, you know. But if you see the whole context of the motion of their conversation, they're just talking, you know. But apparently Jamie Foxx's daughter says he's been out of the hospital for weeks and was playing pickleball yesterday.
What the hell?
So
they're talking about like he's dying.
No, Daily Loud was saying it's the family's preparing for the worst. That's all bullshit.
Terrible.
It's disgusting. Now, you know how I am for scoopers. I don't really care if you understand the scoop game. You know what you're getting into, believe it or not. I'm not telling anyone to believe it. I think 50-50 on scoops, you know. But if you start doing this type of stuff where you imply that someone's on their way out or talking about someone's health or implying there's problems in a marriage when there's not, I think that's some nasty shit.
Yeah.
I don't know what pickleball is. What is pickleball?
I imagine it's, I don't know, a ball game of some sort.
Yeah. Where you hit a ball with a pickle?
I don't know.
That's what I'm trying to know. Hey, guys, I'm going to get to bed. Y'all have a good night.
All right. Take care, Brian.
I'll talk to y'all tomorrow.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
You too. But this is great news, right, Voltaire?
Yeah. Sure. I mean, honestly, I just feel like this stuff should be kept private anyway, but good. I'm glad he's doing
it. I think, yeah, it should be private, but when you have people saying lies out there and they're really thinking you're going to go pass on, I think I'm assuming that's why his daughter came forward, you know, because it was getting so volatile this week because everyone, you know, update from the family. Sad to see how the media runs wild. So they actually addressed that too. My dad has been out of the hospital for weeks, recuperating. Corinne wrote on her Instagram story. In fact, he was playing pickleball yesterday. Thanks for everyone's prayer and support. We have an exciting work announcement coming next week too. Jamie Foxx's hospitalization remains somewhat of a mystery. Corinne broke the news of his media emergency on April 12th via Instagram. Wanted to share that my father, Jamie Foxx, experienced a medical complication yesterday. Luckily, due to quick action and great care, he's already on his way to recovery. We know how beloved he is and appreciate your prayers. The family asked for privacy during this time. So that's great. Great news. I know a lot of us were concerned, myself included. I think I want to find that Daily Loud to show you what assholes they are, because I don't, you know, to say that there's just no, they could not have had any basis for that.
See, I love the scoop game, but this is not scooping.
No, this is just disgusting. This is just profiting off of people's fears.
Misery.
Let me actually look. Daily Loud. Jamie Foxx. Let me see if that comes up. I can't find it now, but let me bring up what they were doing to Ben Affleck. The same site. They have like no morals. They have no morals to do.
Yeah, but that kind of stuff is in the Inquirer. Well, I guess you know what goes with being a celebrity. You know.
Well, this is also one of the issues that you're going to get with Elon Musk's decision that anyone could buy a blue check mark, because I haven't heard this site until recently. Here's on Twitter. I'll bring it up. And actually, it's weird to see Twitter do more annotations for stuff like scooping. So Elon Musk has added this. So here's some more context of how the Daily Loud works. Readers added context. See, this is Daily Loud. Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez argue on the red carpet. And they look at the images they have. It looks like you could get that impression by the way they took a freeze frame of the conversation.
Looks like she's giving him the business.
Yeah, and then they added this annotation, but here is the whole context here. And even Matt Ramos called it out. Here's the actual video. Look at that. They look like they're in love. That's where they got it from. He's just like, I'll go get the car. You know, that's the guy.
I really hate that kind of stuff. That's really low. Like,
Yes.
honestly, they lose all credibility when they do something like that. Thank you for showing that. Honestly, they're not to be trusted if they posted something like that.
They're disgusting. Like that. This is way beyond like, oh, I heard someone's in a Marvel movie. You're implying really nasty things. You're implying someone's going to pass away, playing with fans' feelings. And it gets to the point where it became it spread so much, just like the family member said in that Variety article. They felt they said news runs wild. They had to come out and they said, please respect our privacy. So they didn't want to do that, Variety, in my impression. But they felt they had to because it was spreading so quickly. And you don't want to put those bad vibes out. What if he was doing really well and someone's lying about your family member and then oh my God, you know? Not that things cause that, but it's just like, it's weird, you know?
Yeah.
But that's the good news to start out. Screw that Daily Loud page. All right, send me the link. Send your nerd. Okay, send your nerd wants some.
It's late at night. It's a good time to have him fired up.
Well, he said he has caffeine. Did you send me a DM? Did you send me a DM, Senior Nerd? You know, you're gonna just to remind everyone, memberships are 99 cents, and soon I'm gonna be passing up Senior Nerd on the box office game. Just saying. Just saying. I'm just kidding, Senior Nerd. Here you go. The link is there. Hey Ryan, yeah, I want to have you on tomorrow, Ryan, but I also kind of made double plans, so I want to do animation talk. If you're up for it, Ryan, I could send you a link to two issues of a comic book we're reviewing tomorrow if you're available for that too. I could send them to you tonight. It would require you reading them in a short time frame. If you're up for that, I'll message you on Discord because we're going to talk about animation, like your passions, independent animation, and then why am I showing my DMs? Damn. And then we're also going to review 2 issues of independent comic called The Antagonist. That's going to be a TV show. Oh, okay. You mean for tomorrow too? All right. Sorry to hear that, Ryan. We'll have you on in the future if you can't make it tomorrow. I hope you feel better soon. Hope you feel better soon. All right. And I can't believe I was showing my DMs.
Yeah, there's nothing crazy.
Let me show Robert Meyer Burnett what he's been up to right now, because he's pretty fast and furious himself.
Love that guy
on Twitter. You love Robert Meyer Burnett? Yes.
No, I mean he's interesting anyway.
You know,
I like these controversial figures who have a position. I got to be honest with you. You know, they interest me.
Mm-hmm.
Like you mentioned that Jeremy's political stuff is good. I got to tell you, I started watching.
It's entertaining. I wouldn't call it good because I don't think he has. I'm not getting into the Trump talk.
No,
but, I mean if you completely ignore what he was charged with in a court of law this week, like, and I'm not saying Jeremy's doing that, but no one's really like his hardcore fans just like they don't even want to hear it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I particularly have an issue there. I go by the court of law. I don't care what the hell people say. If you get convicted of something, I'm going to go with that. They have all the evidence. You know what?
It wasn't criminal, so he wasn't convicted. It was civil.
Yeah.
Big difference. You know what I
True.
mean?
True.
Yeah. But whatever. I get your point. We don't want to get into politics, but I get it.
Yeah, but I don't like just ignoring it or even to get to that town hall where people were laughing at him, making fun of it, even if he's innocent, which I'm not gonna say he's guilty or not, but the courts and the jury went a certain way, okay? But even if he didn't do it to joke about it like that, you know, and to have the audience laugh was kind of gross to me, in my opinion, that during that town hall. Not to get into it too much, but regardless, that was kind of gross to me.
Well, I watched Jeremy's coverage of that, and I actually watched EVS's coverage of that. Both very entertaining.
Yeah. Let me get to Robert Meyer Burnett now. Okay, because he is furious. Yeah, here we go. I don't want to bring up the actual article because it would have spoilers in it. But here is his tweet. This is how I found out about this, as I follow Robert Meyer Burnett. And he says, the rap should be publicly shamed. Game of Thrones style for destroying moviegoers' joy today. What a bunch of see you next Tuesdays.
What did they do?
Well, I even talking about the Senior Nerd, don't spoil it for everyone if you know about the rap article title. But the rap spoiled Fast X end credit scene.
Oh yeah, that was messed up.
So don't even say what it is, because if you even read the title, there's just no getting around. There's no warning. There's just in the title of the article, the image of the article, complete spoiler.
I don't get why they did that. Could be a cool surprise.
And they say it's an exclusive when you basically just tell the end credit scene. That's not an exclusive. It's not like the makers reached out to you. And then also, well, here, let's get to the,
because they had the premiere in Rome, so that's how they know.
Guess who it was?
Oh,
at the rap.
Umberto, that guy.
Umberto Gonzalez. Yeah, this is why people don't like Umberto, and I don't get why people defend this kind of shit. Like,
sorry, so they released the film in Rome already?
Yeah, they're now. I mean, it's coming out in a few weeks. Fast 10. So
I thought it was coming out this weekend.
No. It's coming. Maybe I think Memorial Day, but that week when Memorial Day comes out.
So, but then he goes to bat for Umberto Gonzalez. I don't blame him. I blame the site itself.
Being released May
wrote
19th,
the article
next week. Max is right.
Robert Meyer Burnett cares. Yeah. I blame Umberto Gonzalez. You have your name on the article. You didn't have to do that. And then also he's like, look at this bullshit. Let me see if I could find.
I mean,
from Umberto.
Okay, when they pretty much the Rock pretty much said that Superman was going to be in Black Adam, but they doing that because they saw the projective of Black Adam that was looked low, so it's like, okay, no, Superman's in this movie, so people get excited to see it. This is what I mean. It's Fast 10. People were going to see this regardless, without the spoiler. It was going to make a lot of money, so there was no reason for this, unless they know that the movie's going to make less than it's supposed to make. Yeah. Oh, here's how this is what he does on Twitter. This just shows what an asshole he is. Oh yeah, he's a jerk.
Look at that. He just put the eyes like he knew this shit was going to happen. He knew people were going to get upset.
I like that comment by Cinema's Ron Howard.
You should never be allowed at a premiere press screening again.
I agree.
I don't.
Yeah, Campia pretty much got punished for what he did with No Way Home, right?
Yeah,
but he got punished. He did. Nah, I don't think Sony banned him. But yeah, it wasn't good terms what he did.
No, I'm not happy about this myself. This is why I consistently say the industry's all the same. The small sites, the big sites, it's all about the clicks. They don't care. They don't care if they ruin something for you or spoil it. I mean, you could let things slip. It's very different if you let things slip or intentional. You know, obviously that article was intentionally made to get the clicks.
But they don't. I guess they don't make them sign NDAs or anything like that. Wow. Or like,
Unless
this
they
is a no review premiere or something, no
Well,
spoiler premiere.
I mean, then it's on Universal. They just say, okay, wherever you see, they'll let like, so like, I'm pretty sure when they air The Flash to earlier in CinemaCon, we didn't hear anything spoilerly by any of these guys.
Not
They
so
just-
far. No, I'm surprised.
They're very settled, but they're not gonna like, oh, and then this scene happened. This is this. This one was like a major outlet. I think it seems like the Universal wanted to come out.
That's
So
what I'm
really-
getting at. It's like the reason we haven't heard anything about the Flash is probably there's NDAs all over the place, right?
Yeah.
So why didn't they have something like that? That's
Well,
weird.
I read one review who saw it. It was I think German Weenie. Yeah, German Weenie. He saw it. He hated it. He said it's the worst of the Fast movie, Fast 10. Like and Fast 9 it was considered the worst. This one is like the worst of the franchise. So maybe they know that the movie's gonna be bad. Be like again, like when
It looks fun to me, and I'm not a fan of it. It just looks fun. Like all the people
it looks like all the other Fast movies. So I think that's why they knew that the reception would be great. So be like, oh, this is going to be in this movie. And let the people come out and be like, oh, I should see it. But it's an end credit scene, and the movie is long, so you have to wait almost 2 hours for this scene. I don't get it.
Hey, and if you're just getting here, remember to smash the like button, and all you people that watch on the replay, you've been really helping out the live streams when you hit the like button on the replay, even if it's not live. So I appreciate the support. This is Queen Bree looking amazing.
Look at that background in Rome. Wow, that's beautiful.
Someone I thought you were. Did you do that?
Yeah,
Not Bree, the background.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God! Look at that. Yes, look
Yeah,
at
that's
that.
where you. Okay.
I'm looking.
Yeah, that
looking
is
at
cool. That is cool. Be careful. Be careful. So this is where she's going to talk about the Whammon spinoff for Fast and Furious, just like she was going to do a female Avengers film, where I forget what they call the lady group.
A-Force.
A-Force. Now she's going to talk about a spinoff with Michelle Rodriguez and Charlize Theron, I believe. Here.
So this may be the end of the main saga, like coming to the end of the main saga.
Ooh, is it? Oh, let me put the volume's pretty low on my.
Well, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. There could be spinoffs. People could, what's one spinoff that you would like to see?
Here we go. This is going to trigger everyone, right?
No, because there's been talk of all female Fast Furious movies for.
Yeah, well, Michelle Rodriguez, after seeing Dungeons and Dragons, she deserves everything she could get. She's a great, strong female actress, and I believe she deserves a spinoff.
Yeah, but I think I'm remembering that they're doing with Michelle Rodriguez character, Charlize Theron character.
Well, let's hear what she says here.
Well, I mean, you got to hang out with Michelle, Charlize, and I think it was very clear that we would love to spend more time together.
There you go. We would love to spend more time together. It's confirmed. No, it's not confirmed. But what do you think, Voltaire? You want to see the ladies, Fast and Furious ladies?
To be honest with you, I haven't seen anything since Fast Furious 2. So, sure.
Yeah.
Well, they're good. They're good. They got good, and then they went down. I feel they should end after the movie.
I mean, it's just fun now. It's the roller coaster ride. If you know what you're getting, if you know what they're trying for, what's the harm?
Other than Michelle Rodriguez, I don't care for either of those two actresses. So,
you're not a fan of Brie.
I'm not a Brie fan. I'm not a Charlize Theron fan.
Okay, you were really looking at the background. Okay. Yeah, okay, I am a fan of
But
Brie.
Michelle Rodriguez is very good. There's no question. I agree with you on that.
Here we go.
I don't think we'd be mad about anything that involves ladies altogether.
I like it. I like it very much.
I don't know.
Doesn't know. She's playing coy. She's already planning her production crew.
I like it. I like it very much.
I don't know. I don't know.
I think if she gets a Fast and Furious ladies, that she's also going to invite Yvonne Milani, Miss Marvel.
No, that's not how it works.
Well, they'd want
I
a different woman in there for sure.
Yeah, they'd get more people. What do you mean that's not how it works, Senor? She's going to bring her crew.
No, they're gonna bring their crew. It's gonna be the old women's. This is how it was. It's gonna be before she got in.
Yeah, Miss Marvel. She'll bring Miss Marvel for the ride.
No, how's Miss Marvel working Fast and
Not as Miss Marvel, just the actress.
How will a little girl fit in a Fast and Furious movie? That doesn't make sense.
By the time they make it, she's not going to be a little girl. She's going to be, I don't know how old she is.
It could make it 3 years. It's not gonna work. I think they're gonna get more female action women.
God.
So like maybe
Yeah,
like
I disagree.
I don't think she likes any of those women who stole that sequel from her.
Oh, you don't?
like
I don't
I
think
think
she's
they get,
happy
I think
about
they get more.
that.
I think
those stories.
I think they get more. I think you get more women who more do action films. So like it could be like say the female Expendables. So you get Michelle Rodriguez, Charlize Theron. I think Jordana Brewster was said to be in this all-female movie. Maybe they could bring back Gal Gadot.
No, it's got to be a woman of color.
And then, well, okay. Well, then there's Zoe Saldana. She's been in action movies.
There you go.
Then Brie Larson, and then
They already got two white women, and they got a Latina, so they need something else.
let's see who's who else?
Ratcatcher's in this movie too, so maybe her. Baycatcher
Okay.
from the Suicide Squad.
Yes, her. Unless she survived.
Yeah.
the movie.
I'm kind of like on board for the fact. I think it's on. Is it on Paramount or Peacock that they have it now? I might go watch some. And the scene where she's in the trailer, Voltaire. Jason Momoa's the villain, and he loves his cars. And Brie is on the hood of his car, and he's like, "Get off my beautiful car!" And she rubs her foot on his hood of his car to trigger.
Whoa!
Pulse.
Wait, Jason Momoa's in these movies? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's in this current one. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he plays so his thing is he plays the son of the villain that they killed in Fast 5. And he's described to be like the Joker of this movie.
That's an interesting take on the character.
Well, apparently he's the only good part of this film on that one review I read. Like all all the things he says how it's bad the movie. He's like, but Jason Momoa is worth seeing it. The price of admission. That's how he puts it. So it's like Momoa is the reason why you should see this movie.
Well, let's look at some of the reactions here. I don't know if they have reviews up, but there's some reactions. I'm all on board for the Fast and Furious ladies, though. All right, let me bring up the Fast X. Here we go. Fast X reactions. Yeah, talking about Jason Momoa. Now, I kind of thought he looked a little silly in some of the trailers with his hair pulled up a weird way. But people are saying he's fun in the movie.
And the ladies love him.
Yes, and not only the ladies. The first reactions to Fast X hail Jason Momoa's villainous Dante as the new MVP of the Fast and Furious franchise. I think that's something they need is a good villain. I always say that for every franchise. Give me a good villain.
You do.
I hope he is fun in the movie. Fast X belongs to Jason Momoa and his decadent bad guy Dante Reyes, fierce and flamboyant. His perilous peacocking adds a sharp edge and some refreshing dark humor. The rest is ludicrous. I mean, but that's the on brand though. With with clunky elements, but is it stupidly entertaining? What the fast were you expecting? You know, Fast X is entertaining through ride. It's visually spectacle. Jason Momoa brings to the film is Dante is magic. Cool. Jason Momoa is god level in it and worth price of admission.
Yeah, that's one review I read. That's bad.
Dante, like Fast and Furious version of the Joker. He's a gleeful psychopath, and it's delightful. Is he practicing for Lobo or something? You know, I'm not expecting much from this. I'm just expecting a ride. But it sounds good to me. It sounds like fans are gonna like it.
This is a date night movie people go to see. I'm sure it'll do fine.
Date night movie?
You know, hey, you're out. What are we going to go see? What are we going to do tonight? Let's go see that new Fast Furious movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I agree. I have a lot to catch up with before I see it. I mean, I guess you could go in blind to it, not seeing the previous entries, but you're not going to enjoy it as much, I think.
I don't think you need to do homework for this film. I think it's just
you do.
I was going to ask you, Senior Nerd, do you need the prior movies to?
Yeah, I don't think so, because they even something like so it says that Gal Gadot could be in this film, could show up, but she was killed in I think 6.
Gal Gadot was in this already. Wow, they really bring the big stars.
Before it was before she was Wonder Woman.
That's where she was that's one of her first roles.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then so she was like just an actress, or just like she was a model, and they just cast her for her looks, and then they kill her off. It's like, okay, whatever, and then she blew up as Wonder Woman, as the biggest star in the world. They're like, oh shit, what are we supposed to do? And they're like, we'll just bring her back, and that was it. And they did it with this character named Han, who was murdered by Jason Statham, and then he came back in the last one in 9. He just came back, even though we saw him blow up.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I love that even though I haven't watched the films, I love that they've got a 10-film franchise out. I think that's very good.
Yeah,
that's impressive, and it should be by the studio and whoever is responsible for it. They need a lot of credit for that. It's hard to do something. You don't see that every day. Absolutely not. So there's something to it. There's a mass appeal to it.
Mm-hmm. This next thing I want to cover is the misinformation about the Guardians 3 box office. It actually seems to be doing really good worldwide. Maybe not domestic, but I think worldwide audiences seem to be really embracing this new Marvel movie. And I don't know if it's in Japan yet, too. Or I'm sorry, China, I mean. Because China's the one that's hard to get into, right? China. I don't know if it's in China too, but it's already approaching some milestones, and the second weekend just started, and that's good because I thought Fast was already coming out. I guess it's not coming out for another week or two, like you guys are saying.
It's 19th.
19th.
Next
okay.
weekend.
Yeah, next weekend. So that's good. They have another solid week of box office to get that up there. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 Volume 3 nears important milestone at global box office. After just under a week in theaters worldwide, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is nearing the $350 million mark worldwide. That's very good. And then I will bring up the box office mojo. What's that?
What did it cost to make?
I don't have that info, Voltaire. That's a good question. But just over a week on a non-holiday week to get the 350, because usually movies that get the 350 that quick, unless you're Mario, need a holiday week, you know. So it still seems like there's interest. I don't think the drop is going to be as bad as all the YouTube people were saying.
So it's 250 million the budget.
250 million. Okay, so here is Box Office Mojo.
I think it's gonna have to make 5 million to break even.
Well, it's almost at 400 million worldwide now, 384 million. And I think over this weekend, actually the Tuesday, Tuesday's the bargain day. 35. Oh, here's Thursday plus 5. So this is as of Thursday. And we still got a solid weekend and a whole week, not a whole week before Fast X, because Fast X is going to take. Yeah.
There's nothing opening big this weekend, so this is it for them. This is the one. I mean, that Jennifer Lopez movie, but that's not going to.
No one's going to watch that. Yeah. Let's be real. Isn't that on streaming too?
I don't know. Is it?
I don't know. So it seems to be holding pretty decently. That's great.
Yeah, I'm happy for that.
Look at the international. The international is what is really helping this one.
That's good.
So don't believe everything you hear. Darcipio says 500 million by Sunday for Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Mexico loves MCU flicks. I don't know. I didn't look at region specific to see where a lot of the internationals coming from. I don't know.
According to Variety, it cost them $250 million. And roughly 100 million to promote.
But this based on the Rotten Tomatoes, both audience and critics, and the what's that other score? The cinema score. This seems like word of mouth is going to give this some legs.
Yeah.
Not that I think it would have done even better if it had implications for the future of the MCU.
Sorry, out in China.
But
it beat the break-even point, so it's on its way.
Yeah. Let me.
So it's already out in China. It's out in the first week.
It is. Is it doing good there?
It's doing really good. I think. Yeah. See, I read this. Let's see. Let me see this.
Well, that's where most of that international box office is probably coming.
Yeah, it says Guardians of the Galaxy may save the MCU in China. That's the headline, and it's
really only been 7 days for almost 400 million. That's pretty decent.
Oh, 70. Looks like 75 million. It opened
in China. That's good.
That's good.
China's becoming a factor again to save these movies.
Yeah. Hopefully, it has a big weekend.
Yeah. So see how important it is. When Chapek was there, for whatever reason, they had a lot of issue getting into China. With Iger back, he has somewhat of a good relationship with China.
Yeah.
Maybe because of the Disney World there. I don't know. He opened up Shanghai Disney World or something, right? When he was, I don't know how long ago that was. So he has some connections over there, and whatever he's doing to get these movies back in there. There was a period of time where it was also during the pandemic too. But whatever they're doing to get these movies back over in China, it's really helping them out.
They need to. It's important to the box office.
Yeah. Speaking of that, do you want to do a controversial topic?
I love controversial topics.
Okay. It might help to get Voltaire's experience on or insight on this too, because it's about Iger versus DeSantis.
Oh boy.
Oh.
And calm down, Sooner, because I know you might have things that we got to handle this.
This is the most funniest thing.
I watched let's react to a Valiant Renegade. They really, to be fair, I'm nothing against Valiant Renegade, but I think the panel is super biased against Disney. Super biased. But I would love to get Voltaire's expert opinion on their take from if they really think Iger made a mistake on the earnings call. Because he clipped this out. And the title of it, Disney CEO Bob Iger screwed up again on Disney earnings call. And I want to see if both you and Senior Nerd think that he misspoke or he's overstepping. or if you kind of agree with the panel on this show or DeSantis that they shouldn't get special privileges. My interpretation before we watch this is just that it seems like a lot of companies in Florida get these special treatment, but they're being targeted just because they had a political statement. You know, why else would why? Let's be honest, without being too political on this, I think DeSantis is doing it just to them, just because of that certain thing that they got involved with. You know, and I don't see DeSantis going after companies doing this if they weren't. That's just my interpretation. Before we get into Voltaire, what do you think? What do you think about what's that?
They were given a special protection and special clauses, but once they chimed in on that bill, he took it away from them. And it was strict because they chimed in on that bill, 100%.
Yeah, but you've also heard that a lot of other companies in Florida get the same special treatment, a lot of other employers.
It's a symbiotic relationship. The state understands what they bring to the state, obviously, jobs and you know, the tourism industry. So yeah, it's on purpose. Yeah, they're well aware of it.
Okay. But I think what Bob Iger is saying is you have to be fair across the board. If you're going to do this to us, what about the other companies? This is unfair, is what he's been saying, I think. Well, let's just watch a little bit of this here.
Disney Company earnings call. During the Q&A portion, one of the institutional investors asked a question about Reedy Creek and Ron DeSantis. At this point, Robert Iger woke up and went kooky dukes for the second call in a row.
I don't know if his Valiant Renegade has
cookie
a copy.
dudes.
I don't know what that was at the beginning.
Here we go.
That bill.
First
Step
of
in it,
all,
Bob. Do it again. The case that we filed last month
Give us
made
some
our
more
position and the
content.
facts very clear, and that's really that this is about one thing and one thing only, and that's retaliating against us for taking a position about pending
Please go
legislation.
further. Please.
And we believe that in us taking that position, we are merely exercising our right to free speech. Also, this is not about
You
special
aren't Reedy
privileges or a
Creek.
level playing field or Disney.
What do you think initially there? What Bob Iger is saying is that we're just using our company's free speech.
It's true.
It's true, but so listen, here's the deal.
Yeah.
These corporations are publicly owned corporations. They have stockholders, right?
Mhm.
When a corporation makes any kind of stand, whether it's Disney or it's Chick-fil-A, right? They're making a stand, and that affects their business.
Yeah.
Now, if you're a publicly owned company, you have to answer to your shareholders, right? And the shareholders just want to make money. They don't give a crap about any political statements. And they're like, why are you making political statements? Yeah, the company has free speech rights. Sure, it does. Everybody does in America. But you also have the right to shut your pie hole and not piss anyone off, right? So that's kind of what's going on, I guess, right?
Yeah, well, a Valiant Renegade was doing, it wasn't a stabbing motion, it was digging a hole. He's saying that the hole's being dug. And he also suggests in this video, not to spoil it, but he's suggesting that there is an active Disney boycott and it's bigger than people think.
No, it's not.
Well, don't underestimate. That's how I roll, Voltaire. And Senior Nerd. So I do think there are people boycotting. I don't think they're not consuming the content. I think they're still watching. They're just not paying for it.
So here's the deal. There is, trust me, and this is anecdotal, but listen, I live in California. I talk to people because I like to get I like to hear what people say. Like I ask my people I work with, I go, hey, how old's your daughter? She's 9 years old. What did she think of the new Little Mermaid trailer? You know what I mean? I like to hear what the kids are saying because that's who the movie's targeted as. And yeah, I talk to mothers and they don't like what Disney's doing. So I get it.
Doing what? What are they doing?
You know, Senor Nerd, you know what they're doing.
No, it's fine. No, what they're doing.
You know what?
Come on, they're race swapping and doing things like that. I don't care, Senor Nerd, but
I don't care either.
And we're not saying that the people that complain about that are right.
No,
but it is a popular opinion. And you
And
can't
it's a
dismiss that.
silent opinion because people are scared because of getting called certain things for doing it. But the reality is, and that's what it is. I'm not saying I don't feel this way. I'm telling you, this is how people feel. I talked to several people about the Mario movie that took their kids. And one of my assistants said, I was happy because there was no mess. Well, I'm not going to say exactly what she said, but she said there was no messaging. There was nothing weird in it for my kids. You know? And yeah, you can about that, and it's true. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong to put that stuff in these projects, but I'm just telling you how parents with little kids might.
I think if we really need to, if we're really going to progress ourselves as commentators, Senior Nerd, not to say, you know, regardless if you think the person's opinions or viewpoints are bullshit or not, realizing that this is a large opinion out there. Now, I personally think Little Mermaid is going to get to 1 billion.
Yes.
I think the hate there
that.
is people targeting the trailer, downvoting it, that aren't going to see it anyway, that really don't care about Little Mermaid.
Yeah. And to Dylan, it says Dylan in the chat says the movie is tracking high. I believe it's tracking high. I'm really curious how it does because this is anecdotal. I've spoken to like 3 people with like 9-year-olds, 8-year-old girls, and they said, "What did they think of the trailer?" They said, and and these are little kids who have no agenda or anything, right? They go, "I liked how Ariel looked before." Not saying there's anything wrong with a black Ariel, but they're used to the cartoon Ariel, right?
And Daniel, Dylan, the message isn't about a black person. There's nothing in there except her singing. Like the context of her character, it's just that she happens to be a black actress.
Yeah, take out the fact that it's black. Put in the fact that it's
exactly the same.
Yeah,
it's exactly the same story, same music.
Right.
Is
any other Disney remake? So
yeah, but like the little girls, and I say little girls because I mean other little kids like it too. But it's focused the Disney princess concept. They sell these. Here's the Disney princess's figure set. I've bought that for my nieces, and it's got Ariel in it, right? And how does Ariel look?
Which one? The Halle Berry version?
The classic animated one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a little redhead, whatever. So when a little girl now sees the live action version, she's going to be confused. Or she's going to be like, huh? You know what I mean? So I'm really curious how it comes out. I'm really curious.
Companies do this. And I got to reiterate this to people all the time. It's not even about woke. It's kind of more gross than you think. About having a different SKU on the shelf. You have a white Ariel, you have a black Ariel. And then if people don't like that, it promotes the old product. They're going to be like, it's like fear mongering. Like, I'm not going to be able to see my Ariel, so I'm going to go buy all the old Ariel stuff. And you sell both. Then you have 2 SKUs.
Yeah. And I'm fully convinced.
2 SKUs. People don't understand that.
Yeah. And I'm fully convinced that little girls who are too young or maybe weren't familiar with the cartoon Ariel before, they'll love this Ariel and they won't care.
Yeah. It just expands your opportunity because you have 2 versions of a character. It's like
yes.
Instead
that's
of
double the toy. You got 2 versions of the character, like you had 2 versions before. There's 2 beauty. There's 2 Bells, the animation and the Emma Watson version. You had 2 Melissa. You had 2 Cinderella, the animation and the live action version. It doesn't really matter which version is it. It's still Ariel. It's just a different version with a different dress.
But there's a 9-year-old girl who saw Ariel as the little redheaded white girl and now sees a completely different Ariel. You don't see a difference for a little 9-year-old girl?
No, that's another toy for her. So,
I think it's more going to be on the parents, how they feel, and inject their feelings onto their own children. But I honestly think, and I guess it's subjective and we don't have a case by case, but if you don't have the biases of adults and the baggage of adults, they would just look at it like, oh, that looks cool.
Yeah.
It's what we put onto these young people.
Yeah, absolutely. And Darcipio has a controversial comment, but he's right. In China, this won't fly.
Oh
No, it won't. No.
yeah,
Remember
there's definitely a history there of having.
Yeah, there
I
is.
mean, Black Panther, the first
Black Panther,
Black Panther
Finn.
bomb. Yeah, they just hide Finn in the poster, literally.
Yeah.
For the 3 Star Wars movies. So yeah, China will not do it. But like, I think you guys kind of overreact. I think kids are not.
I'm curious about. We'll see with the box office. People, I'm a capitalist. People pay with their wallets. Do the talking. You know,
If
and
it's
you know
good,
what?
it'll transcend all this bullshit.
And I'm not going to. I talked to my niece who's 9 years old. Because it was her birthday, and I spoke to her. I said, "Hey, how's it going?" I go, "Did you see the Little Mermaid trailer?" And she said she looks different, but the trailer was good. But she looks different.
Let me put it this way. Okay, so
I'm really curious what she thinks when she sees the movie. You know?
Okay, let's put this. Okay, the Lion King, the animation and the live action. So there's a toy for the animation. You get the toy Simba, right? The cub Simba that has the wide eye and stuff. Then you got the live action, where it is a photorealistic photorealistic cub lion. That's Simba. That's maybe confusing for kids, but they'll still buy the toy Simba or as their parents. Still buying buy the toys because it's still a toy to them. So to kids, it's just still a toy. It looks different, but it's still a toy. That's how it was. Like I collect Power Ranger toys. I collect, the My Morphin.
Yeah, but who buys the toys? The parents that have baggage.
Well, there you go.
They're gonna, you put these stuff on your children.
And what the parents gonna say? No, honey, I can't get you this area.
No, they'll pick another toy for them. You can tell kids that. But to your point, Senor, you're right. When the kids get in the theater and the movie's cool and it looks good and the music is nice, although DL made a good point the other day that it looked kind of muted in the trailers. Once the kids are in there, the kids are going to love it because kids are kids.
Right.
Kids are an easy audience, quite honestly.
Especially music and fun, yeah.
Right. Pretty much like that way. If a kid is begging, I want a little girl. I want the Ariel, and it's the Halle Berry version, and it's like no, and like why? Because she's different. You have an Ariel, you have an Ariel doll in your at home. You don't need this one.
Yeah, but I think that's a very special kind of asshole parent. But
that's gonna be. That will be it. But there will be parents who pretty well might say, "Okay, we'll give you this toy." Again,
I'm super curious about the box office. That's all I'll say. We'll see.
Do you think though so far, and we haven't really got far into this, but that Iger's putting his foot in his mouth?
No, because he's
so this whole thing. Go ahead, Senor. I want to hear your opinion. Go ahead.
Well, John, here's the thing. They know Disney.
Well, they have had to lay off, and they're losing a few million subscribers on Disney Plus. That's something.
Well, okay, first the subscribers because they took out they started airing cricket games in India. And all that subscriber you saw, the 4 million that the fan mans are shouting, yeah, Disney Plus is going down. That's from India. Because India
we can that's an interesting fact, Senior Nerd, but we also know for a fact they're from India, the losses. We don't,
No, India cricket is a big sport in India. So when they stopped airing India cricket games in the Disney Plus in that region, that's when the subscriber went down. But onto this whole thing with Iger and DeSantis. Look, they know they could wipe the floor with Bob Iger, with Rod DeSantis. Rod DeSantis is an ant. And they're the boot.
Don't underestimate.
I don't know about all.
Don't underestimate politicians. If he finds the right law or gets the right lawyers, who knows?
Yes,
so Disney lawyers versus you talk about Disney lawyers versus a governor lawyer, whoever.
Well, he's gonna have the Republican base behind him in the money that comes from them. They especially if he also is running for president. He's going to
yeah,
have
well,
some
well,
backers
well-
that want him to take down Disney as a platform to go for
Here's the
president.
thing about
If
that.
that still happens, you know.
Here's the thing about that. I have to go political. Right now, the Republican Party is the Trump Party. As long as Trump is alive, nobody can take him down. Ron DeSantis has to wait till Trump is dead, so he'll
Yeah,
become
but not in
president.
Florida. He doesn't. People love him in Florida.
They love him in Florida. But even then, there's some Floridians that will choose Joe. If Ron DeSantis say I'm voting for president, guess what? He's gonna lose a primary. And
Well,
Trump
this is his major platform is fighting Disney.
And guess what? Disney's beating him. Remember
Well,
they did
you know, right now,
you-
Senior
No,
Nerd, you have a little bit of bias. I
No.
mean,
Read. I think you did not been reading. They messed him up. They have this. They did this loophole where they pretty much. I forgot what
It's
they
not
did.
over yet, though, Senior. It's not over. The battle rages on.
I see what you're saying, Senior Nerd. It's look, it's a symbiotic relationship. Florida needs Disney. Disney needs Florida because they get a lot of benefits to make them.
Disney need Florida.
Here's
Disney
my
can
take
literally-
on all this. There's Republicans that make a lot of money on Disney too, and conservatives. And all this culture war bullshit is just good for grifters. You know, but really, are they really pushing it down your throat in this stuff? You can ignore it if you. It's not that hard to ignore. Disney World is an amazing place to take a family. The only issue I have is it's too expensive.
All too expensive. But say that Disney is
Really
very powerful.
But Voltaire, when you go into Disney World gates the last time you were, or the last, at least if you haven't gone recently, if you've seen online, are you just smacked with woke when you get in there?
No, I'm smacked with bills.
Yes.
It's very
So
expensive.
all this culture war bullshit, it just, the only people that are making money on it are the grifters and the actual companies that have employees and stuff. Not that I'm just gonna simp for companies, but I do appreciate people that employ people. You know, there's a lot of Disney employees that they maybe they should get more and be treated better, but it still employs a lot of people in Florida.
Oh, listen, trust me. I've dated Disney girls who've worked out here because I live in Orange. I live close. I don't live far from Disneyland, and it's cult-like. The people who work there love it. All right, they treat their employees pretty well. You know what I mean? So,
honestly, what would this world be without Disney? Like, do you really want to live in a world where there's no Disney?
It's a big part of America. It's a big part of the world, and it's interesting. So it's just they chose to make a political comment, though, right?
Well, I'll say this. It wasn't they. It was Bob Chapek.
It was Bob Chapek. Whatever. He's the head of the snake, right? So
Well, he's no longer there.
Though, right? And they chose to make that comment, just like Chick-fil-A chooses to make a comment about anti-gay stuff. And
you know why Chick-fil-A is still around? Because it's damn good.
People love Chick-fil-A.
Quality-
It's the best chick. I tested them all. It's the best.
I don't care about Chick-fil-A's politics. I don't agree with their politics, but you know
I
what
hate
else?
their politics.
Their employees seem happy and they get Sundays off.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, I hate
And
that
their
they're
food-
closed on Sundays personally, but yeah,
Well,
I get it.
but we're someone that's worked in retail
Mm-hmm.
and worked, so many years in customer service. I really appreciate that.
Right. And it's their right as a company to say, we don't like this and we're not going to open Sundays. Just like it's Disney's right. They can say we're pro
You
this
just got to
But-
make sure your product is good, though.
Right. But there might be consequences to that. I mean, they're getting benefits from the government. So if they're anti the current government, you know what I mean? You're going to get punished for it. I mean, they're allowed to. I'm really curious what the lawsuit Disney's going to bring. Like, Senor Nerd, you say that Disney's attorneys are going to put the boot to them. On what basis? What legal basis?
That they were spraying their free speech. That they were against
That they're being that they're being targeted, and it's not like organic. What DeSantis is doing.
And it is a government entity, so they can take that against them, I guess. But
and
and it's not unilaterally being applied to all the businesses in Florida. That they're being targeted, specifically targeted. I don't know how they're gonna. I don't know what the legal basis on that is, but
let's say I own business. Let's say I own a bakery here in Puerto Rico. and I
Sounds good.
I speak very out against the government because the government here in Puerto Rico is lousy, and then the government is like, okay, well, we are going to shut down your bakery. It's like, why? Because you say something negative about us, but it's my free speech. I can sue you. You can't just like.
Well, they're not shutting them down though. They're just making it more difficult.
Yeah, they're just
the tax credits.
But the thing is, like, why is Ron DeSantis going after Disney? Because he wants to show he's a big.
It's very obvious. If they could prove, if there's some type of law that says they're being targeted it's not organic, like it's not just,
I just think he wants to be like Trump. He wants us to think everybody he's a big guy who got big pants.
This is his platform to go in again. There's a lot of conservative families that really dislike Disney at this time.
But they're being him badly. They humiliate every step of the way.
I don't know if you're watching.
I don't know what you're watching, Senor Nerd. I don't see that.
Well.
I mean, maybe don't just watch MSNBC. Maybe watch something else too.
Okay, what's happening? The stock goes down. That's not because of Ron DeSantis. That's because the movie's not being good, and other things. But like, what Ron DeSantis has done that taking down Disney? And also, is Disney World? Remember, they got Disneyland, which is California, which is the most liberal state in the entire union.
Senior Nerd, you're adding a lot to us, but this is also a reaction, so we got to listen to them. We haven't even listened.
I just think it's just like you guys don't get it. This guy, DeSantis is being pathetic.
Don't say we don't get it.
No,
I mean, it's just having a different opinion than you. I mean,
no. It's like you think like, oh no, DeSantis. I think he's going. No,
I don't think DeSantis is winning either. I'm just thinking it's undecided, and he is causing them issues. He is causing Disney issues. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to quote Avengers, ant, boot. He's an ant, and he's getting the boot.
For MSNBC.
I'm sorry.
Play the video.
Yeah. I don't. So far, I don't think DeSantis is losing in this situation. What is he losing by Disney winning right now? He's still in the news. He's still battling Disney.
He's never going to be president.
That's more of a Trump issue than him against Disney. Him against Disney only helps him.
But if he loses to Disney, which he is, then they think like, well, how you can do with foreign policy in other countries?
Okay, let's get to
remember
in any way using its leverage around the state of Florida. But since there's been a lot said about special districts and the arrangement that we had, I want
to talk directly to us, Bob. We know you're talking
about.
There
are about 2,000 special districts in Florida, and
But
most
none
were
like
established
you.
to foster investment and development. Where we were one of them.
No, you weren't. No, you were not.
And others.
I don't know why they're getting so upset here. There's 2,000 special districts. Did you get that, Voltaire? I don't know what they were freaking out about.
Yeah, I don't. Well, apparently they think he wasn't part of those districts, but okay, I don't know.
No, you weren't. No, you were not.
And others, by the way, to do business in Florida. Bad. And we built a business that employs, as we've said before, over 75,000 people and attracts tens of millions of people to the state.
Look at Mike.
So while it's easy to say that
not
the
the
Creek
biggest
Special
employer
District
in the
was established.
Yeah, but I don't know why this, like, all fair. I know Rihanna Kroll. She's a pretty popular YouTuber along a lot of commentators. So more power to her. But I don't know why that's like a point. So they're not the biggest in Florida, but they're still a big employer in Florida. So what does that matter? You're not the biggest. Okay. What if Disney moved and then all those small businesses that rely on Disney for tourism?
Right. I got a link for this article. This happened in March. This is when the first bell. This is like when I decided I was going after Disney was saying nothing. And people thought like they're just gonna forget about it.
Let's watch the video first. I want to hear what they have to say.
Yeah.
I'll put the link in the.
Okay, we'll see if I get time for that. Yeah, I kind of want to stick to the video, but I'll look at that later. But I mean, I don't think that these culture warriors that are obsessed with those are thinking about this is going to hurt a lot of people. Democrats and conservatives, business owners around Disney. It'll It'll even hurt Universal. Like people are like, well, Universal's there, but how many people go to both when they go to Florida? I do.
You gotta have like special kind of money to go to both. You can
No,
choose
when
one.
I mean,
but
I haven't
even
been.
then-
I've been there twice in my life, and both times I went to both parks. If I'm going to make the trip, you know.
Okay. So I went to that part. I went to Florida. Orlando. One time in 2000 with my mom, and we went to all the parks. We went to the Disneyland, Disney World, Universal, and SeaWorld, all in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But that was like, but that's because it was cheaper then.
Do you see what I mean, though, Voltaire? Like people, like conservatives, and Republicans are all for capitalism and helping businesses. This is gonna, if Disney really went under there, it would be freaking devastating in Florida.
Yes.
Yeah, it would be. And to answer Dylan's question in the chat, they are not the biggest employer. They don't even crack the top 10. But as Max said,
they're big.
There's a lot of knock-on effects of Disney.
And supplemental businesses rely on that tourism, and it would also have an impact on Universal.
Absolutely.
You know, I don't understand why people are so oblivious to this, or like rooting it on for it to, you know, to Disney to fail.
It's like, do they want Disney to go out of business and not?
Yes,
like,
they would be cheering, I think.
So
Really?
that's they have so much of Disney has so much of are so entrenched in Florida. There's nothing they can do. They can't move. They can't leave. You know, what are they going to do? Move their biggest park? It's bigger than
it would to relocate all the rides and everything there, the infrastructure. It would cost more than acquiring Foxx.
And what to a state?
I don't know that they're moving to Nevada, some other well, no, they want on the East Coast. Let's say they moved it to Tennessee, for example. You know what I mean? A state above or something. It would be a massive nightmare for Disney. That's what Ron DeSantis is thinking. They're not going to leave. This is all leverage, you know.
And the problem that he's here's the thing about Republicans. They're not alike. How you think all Republicans in Florida is with backing Ron DeSantis going after Disney?
Yes.
They're like people like.
I think there's a lot, and they might be naive to how it's going to impact them.
I don't think there's a lot, but I don't think it's.
Or they're not seeing they don't see the big picture. They're furious with rage over woke culture that they don't see how it's going to impact them.
I also think that a lot of Republicans have fled to Florida, just like they say they were worried about Texas turning Democratic because a lot of Democrats moved to Texas. I think a lot of Republicans have fled to Florida, you know, so they might have.
But even then, you think like it's like, do all Republicans want Disney to go under? No, I think they kind of like it's just more like they want to get better or something.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get back to the video.
Yeah, let's hear it.
That would be public. Years ago, benefited us. It's misleading to not also consider how much Disney benefited the state of Florida. And we're not the only company operating a special district. I mentioned 2000.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
I don't see why they're mocking that point. Like that's a valid point. We're not the only special district.
And everybody, just so you know, and there's little tells, and Max pointed it out, where you could tell if somebody's being disingenuous. The way she said, they're not the number one employer in Florida. He didn't say they were.
No.
That's irrelevant. But she brought that up.
They're a big employer, and there's a lot of supplemental tourism for Disney.
Yeah.
And listen, regardless of what you think about this current culture war, Disney has such a long history in Florida. That was the first one, right?
No, Disneyland was before Florida.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I thought it was.
First.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And Disney came in.
Florida's much bigger than what Disneyland.
Florida's much bigger. Okay. But you know, when they did Tomorrowland there, Epcot, all those classic history there, they just want to see that go up in flames just because you're upset about, you know, scenes. Let's be real. Scenes in a movie. Not a whole movie. Scenes in a movie.
Yeah,
there's certain scenes that people get upset about.
Yeah, two women who kissed each other's lips in.
Well, I mean, it's not a whole movie. It's a scene, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, they're upset because of Black Ariel. They're upset because they took away. Well, I mean, it was a good idea. They took down the.
People do get upset by it, but I really don't think it's going to have impact on this movie. I think this movie's going to actually thrive.
No, I'm talking about that's it's like the laundry list of why people are the cultures against Disneyland. The same sex kiss scene in Lightyear, Black Ariel, how they changed the Big Thunder Mountain.
But Senor Nerd, I think it's less Black Ariel than it is the lesbian kiss.
No, I'm talking about the list. It's a laundry list of why all these people throughout years why
they
they're
don't
against
like it. They don't like it. Yeah.
No, it's just like, again, like I said, the same.
Even if you're not against it, some people just don't like it because you're like, oh, you're preaching to me when I'm trying to watch a movie.
I don't want my kids seeing that kind of thing, whether they believe it or not.
I'm not saying
it's right or wrong. People believe.
There's a lot of people that feel that way, but I think this is going to be one of those movies that profits off of people dogging on it. It's like going to be the opposite effect, just okay, for example, we know Hogwarts Legacy was a success where people complained about it. I think this is Disney's Hogwarts Legacy. But it's really going to succeed because people are going to complain if it's good, if it is actually a good movie. It always comes down to that. If it's a really good movie,
nobody cares.
Right.
And figure drawing, to your point, it was a nanosecond lesbian kiss. You're 100% right, and I agree. It's no big deal. But there are people, and it's not a small number of people.
Not small, no.
Who think that that's a big enough deal. They don't want their daughters or their sons seeing that kind of thing. Even though they can't, they somehow think they can shield their kids from this stuff and that kind of thing. And they don't want to see it in that
Here's the thing. Kids don't even like to see kissing between a woman and a man. I remember as a kid watching those Disney movies, I go, ew, like when Aladdin and Jasmine kiss. Or like in Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, where Prince Charming kissed Snow White. I went, ew. Ariel and I went, ew, because kids don't like to see kissing because they think kissing is gross. So it doesn't matter. It's between
not about the
man and
kids.
woman.
Well, I think Voltaire would I think Voltaire would be a good owner because he would be like, I don't necessarily agree with this, but if you're trying to make money for your company and you're also your stockholders, you don't want to dismiss anything.
Listen, I'd have the Michael Jordan policy. Michael Jordan famously said, conservative Republicans buy sneakers too. I don't have anything to say about anything. You know what I mean? When they asked him about politics. And I would be the same way if I was trying to make money. I would be completely neutral. I wouldn't say one thing one way or another.
All right, let's get back to this here.
My
goodness, shut up, Bob.
It's a prominent retirement community, and there are countless others.
The Villages?
So the goal here
That's comparable?
Leveling the playing. If the goal is leveling the playing field, then a uniform application of the law or government oversight of special districts needs to occur or be applied to all special districts.
That's what they did.
I don't know. I don't know if Valiant Renegade is. This is why I kind of would react to this. They're very animated on this. I don't.
Look at the freeze frame of her, of that woman.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, but I don't know if they're applying this to all special districts in Florida. But I think Bob Iger is saying this because that's their angle to pursue DeSantis legally, that they're not. I would assume that Iger's lawyers gave him some info like, this is the angle you criticize him. If this is going to be a thing, it has to be across the board, not singled out because of our free speech.
So here's the thing.
And this is where they become a mirror of themselves because they are all a lot of these same movie pundits are all for free speech for like Gina Carano or anyone else. But then when it's the opposite thing they don't want to hear, it's no.
Yeah.
That's where I'm a free agent. I don't care. Everyone says something I don't like. I just want a good product and a good price for myself. That's all I want. I'm a free agent. Don't care.
And here's one thing I will say, and you're 100% right, Max. That's really adept of you. And I'm going to say this because one of the reasons I'm anonymous is because I work with some big companies, okay, that you all have heard of and are aware of. And when they do something like sue a state, and this is to your point, Senor Nerd, they have some basis.
Yeah.
And anything DeSantis is saying, he's not talking off the cuff. They've prepped him. They've said they're going to ask this, they're going to ask that, and they're going to ask this. Here's your answer. There's people in the room typing him notes when he's talking, and his attorneys are there. So it's 100% whatever, like set up. It's not.
And there's a reason Iger keeps saying we're being singled out. He keeps reiterating that point, and that's what's freaking them out. They're like, no, they're not. I mean, I don't want to just hear that Valiant Renegade. I want you to show the proof.
Right.
I want you to, in Loriana Kroll, she seems like a very nice lady, difference of opinion. I'd like to talk to her sometime soon.
Right.
But I don't want you to just freak out like, like let's say like the opposite side SJWs. I want you to bring the proof. Show me the proof that Ron DeSantis is going after all these special districts and all these companies. Instead of, because I kind of think that Iger's just not talking about his ass here.
I remember, I know that Ron DeSantis is passing a bill to the fact of people of districts who have their own type of transportation in monorail, and that only affect the monorail in Disneyland, in Disney World. That's
I want to see the proof that he's going after all special districts. Then Iger and Disney don't have a case, right? That he's clamping down on everyone. But but I think they have a lot of proof, especially from all his interviews. It was very, let's be real, it was very reactionary that this happened right after they got involved with that certain bill that this came up. I mean, there's these lawyers going to have all these receipts, But I think there's a reason. I disagree with this. I don't think he screwed up. I think he knows what he's talking about, is my assumption, without the fact, without all the receipts.
I remember something else also. Ron DeSantis said in his book, yes, he's going after Disney because of political reasons. He said it in a book.
Yeah, he might have said that in a book too. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, he did, and then the lawyers be like, see, he is going after us because we was for political reasons.
So I'm gonna, for the channel, Max, I will look into the legal details of this lawsuit.
Cool.
I wish I'd known we were going to talk about this tonight. I would have done it. I actually had some downtime today where I could have done that, and I will look at what the claims are, and I will provide.
But so far, without diving deeper, Voltaire, do you just your base level opinion without doing research more? Do you think Iger's messing up here by saying this, or do you think it's intentional, purposeful, and he has something to back up with his legal? I think he was told, keep saying this. They're being targeted.
Thing they're putting on it. They're ultimately going to come to look, regardless of, without even looking at it, they're ultimately going to come to some kind of a resolution, okay? Because they need each other. Let's face it, right? So this is the angle. Did he screw up by saying this? No, because his whole angle is, in order to say that a government is restricting your free speech, you have to say they're only restricting my speech. They're not restricting everybody. I'm getting disparate treatment because of this.
And all companies donate to political causes.
Right.
Yes.
Why am I getting nailed?
Especially Disney is known to donate countless Republicans throughout the state.
Yeah, but they made a statement here. They made a specific statement here.
Well, I guess he was forced to say a statement because it was like
forced.
Yes, he was. It was the
he said it impacted his employees, and their employees wanted them to speak.
Right.
That's kind of a virtue signal, though.
I'm talking about Chapek. Chapek.
Yeah, that was all. Yeah, Chapek. That was also a virtue signal. My employees demanded. That was like you don't really. Yeah. You're still the employer. You don't have to do anything.
Well, the first made Disney employee. Who's the lady that worked for Mall that got fired recently?
The Latina.
Alonzo.
Alonzo. Yeah,
her. Yeah. She's gay, and she speak about the No Say Gay bill, GLAAD award.
Yeah, but they don't have to do that. You could say, I support your free speech, but you don't have to get involved.
Right, but
you could still be supportive of someone without doing your own, you know.
Right. But she was speaking out against it, and then she called out about Chapek to also be a part. Hey, I guess he had to do it because he was the new guy. Because he was the new guy. Again, that's why he got fired.
You do run the risk of the opposite side of politics getting upset with you if you don't after you have employees.
He was a bad CEO.
Right, which is
if
why.
You're right, Senior Nerd. If he felt like if he did it because he was getting pressure from his employees and inside the organization as a CEO, he should have found a better way to handle that.
Right, and that's why he's no longer working for. That's why he's no longer.
See, we got our own. We got our own more educated, better person, Valiant Renegade here with the details with Voltaire. I'm sorry, Valiant Renegade is very. No offense to the guy, he's got a great radio voice. He does. I'll give him props for his prop. You know, when he speaks, he has a great voice. Right. But he's very reactionary to this.
But to Voltaire point, yeah, that's why Chapek is no longer in the company because he didn't know how to it was.
I think you're right about that, Senior Nerd. I think that is why he was fired. I'm not going to lie to you. I think that's why he was fired.
I mean, there's numerous reasons why he got fired. There's numerous reasons.
I think that was a big reason.
Yeah, the handling of this was not good. It was, and there were also rumors that there were special emergency meetings and that he was basically fired on the weekend. He got told on a phone call or a press release.
No, he was literally he was in the limo on the way to the Elton John concert in Dodger Stadium. Well, he was going to be on stage.
That was an emergency replacement, yes.
And then literally, there were Disney employees at the concert, and then when they heard the news, they would start cheering and dancing.
Is that true?
Oh my God, he was so disliked in just 2 years in Disney. It was it was something.
All right, let's get back. We're only 2 minutes. I can't do the whole 14 minutes. Let's get.
No, I don't think we can.
There's also a false narrative that he's fighting
What's the problem
tax breaks
until it
as part of
happened to
this.
you,
But
right?
in fact, we're the largest taxpayer in Central Florida, paying over. At this point, it's
I'm gonna hit this hard when this is over. I'm gonna hit
this
hard when this is over. Stay tuned. That was bullshit right there. Pardon my French.
And we all know there was no concerted effort.
Why Voltaire? They are so biting the hand that feeds. Maybe they are actually this upset. But if they didn't have Disney to talk about, no one would be watching Valiant Renegade.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do they not understand that, or they just know the game?
This is outrage porn.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, if Disney starts to be good again,
his reaction.
I mean, but these are people that look WD Walt Disney. This is the channel name, Walt Disney, whatever Pro. Their whole channel's about Disney.
Oh, is it really? I've never heard.
In-law Rihanna Kroll, I think she's a really nice lady. She hangs out with Drunk 3PO and the rest, and they go to the parks all the time. This is why my mind is blown. My mind is blown. I'm like, you love Disney.
This is like a vegetarian who eats in Arby's. We think.
Well, I don't know.
I mean, that's a bad analogy. I think something.
No, they have their motto is "We have the meat," so it makes sense. It's just an interesting. Yeah,
I'm talking about a vegetarian or vegan who eats in Arby's. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, no, I get it.
It's like they're saying this. They're anti-Disney, but it's like, hey, let's go.
Obsessed with Disney, though.
Yeah.
I get. Well, you know what? This is the tried and true online, and maybe I'm a culprit of this myself. If you're so anti something else that maybe people thought I was anti Geeks and Gamers for a while, you are actually a fan. You're watching everything they do. You're obsessed with them. You know, these people are obsessed with Disney.
Yeah,
they don't really want it to end. They don't really want it to end, or if they did,
their whole channel is obviously based on this. My God.
Yeah,
I mean, honestly, they want. I think they want Star Wars to still be bad, according to them, because what else they gonna do?
Well, they don't have to want that. That's the case.
No, they again, if it starts to be good, let's just say Captain Kennedy got fired.
Darcipia says, political retribution. Yeah, that's what we've been saying.
Yeah, I said I didn't say that's what I said, Darcipio. I agree.
WD Pro is the I know, and they're called Walt Disney World Pro.
Yes, I agree that DeSantis is going against them because they made that comment.
It's pretty obvious, yeah.
I mean, again,
But they still have to prove it, like that they're being.
Yeah,
I don't know what laws that violates because I'm not an expert of what.
So free speech. Everybody says free speech. You're violating my free speech. Free speech is when the government violates your free speech, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is a government entity, arguably violating their free speech. That's why he keeps saying I, us. They focus on us. You know what I mean? So that's just part of treatment, and that they're focusing on them again. But everybody, I will look at the legal aspects of this so I can better discuss this.
I go look at the articles that posted.
Well, it's getting late. We're not getting through this very easily.
I'll read
Anything to dismantle what was
And they
once
fight
called
the
Reedy
tax
Creek Special
assessment every
District
year.
until we spoke out on the legislation.
All companies fight their taxes.
And
Am I wrong, Voltaire? Like all companies do that to
That's America, baby.
Yes, I mean this is all companies do this. All big companies.
It's just like when people were saying to Trump, "Why'd you file bankruptcy?" He goes, "I took advantage of the American laws. That's what I did." That's what companies do. That's what rich people do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is plainly a matter of retaliation, while the rest of the Florida special districts continue operating basically as they were.
I'm sorry. Pardon my French. That was all bull.
I don't know how he says it's bullshit that he's saying it's retaliation. It's pretty obviously retaliation.
No, DeSantis says,
but they still have to prove it. Yeah.
I'm going to tear that apart in a
Our
minute.
primary goal has always been to be able to continue to do exactly what we've been doing there, which
This
is
is entertaining, though.
in Florida.
Thank you, Valiant Renegade and crew. This is entertaining.
Out of the
And he
tourism
hasn't
industry
talked
that
to
we
Ron
created.
DeSantis
And we
yet.
want to continue delivering the best possible experience for guests.
Does Lorena Krill have a point there? Should he try to talk to the? I don't think so at this point. I think go to your lawyers.
You know what? For a while I thought this was a stage, and DeSantis and Iger are like, look at them, they were fighting. Look at them, like it's all stage for them. I think they talk, but it's like to lawyers.
I don't think there's anything to benefit from talking to DeSantis direct. I would say go through the lawyers at this point.
Yeah,
100%. Lawyers won't let him speak to DeSantis.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Going forward.
If an analyst is watching this and on the line, ask him about the
To be in
bonds.
the position of having to defend our business interests
Please
in
do.
federal court, particularly having such a terrific relationship.
Florida's never.
He needs to shut the fuck up
for
now.
more than 50
Is he going
years.
to talk about the counter?
And as I mentioned on our
In state
shareholder
court?
call, we have a huge
Wait,
opportunity
let's
to continue to invest in Florida. I noted
He's still
that
going
our
about it.
plans
Let's
are
just
to
let him
invest
talk.
$17 billion over the next 10 years, which is what the state should want us to do. We operate responsibly. We pay our fair share of taxes. We employ thousands of people. And by the way, we pay them above the minimum wage, substantially above the minimum wage dictated.
But they can't afford to
by the
live
state of
there.
Florida. We also
Well,
provide
no,
them-
what about the companies that are only giving them midway? I think that's
Wait, what do you mean?
Everything they had, just 1 second, since you're a nerd. They had all this full outrage over what he said, and they're saying, "Oh, he said the one thing he said that they could have had outrage was when he said we pay our fair share of taxes." No, you don't. You absolutely just does not pay their fair share of taxes, and that's and they missed it completely. But anyway, just to show you how.
And then they're complaining that people can't afford to live, but they're paying above minimum wage. They don't have to do that.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, okay, what's your point? They're paying. It's hard for everyone to live. Okay, but they're paying above minimum wage.
Who, Disney?
That's what he said. I mean, I'm taking him on his word.
No, the employers are being underpaid over there. That's the thing. Even
I think they're getting paid more than minimum wage, though, bro.
But then it's not quite.
I'm not saying that they shouldn't get paid more, but
I mean, I think should, because it's Disney. They got endless amount of money. They could pay whoever.
They don't have endless.
With great benefits.
That
and
has
free
nothing to
education.
do
So
with
I'm gonna
special
finish
tax
this
mutilation
obviously
of children.
kind
And
of a
cast
long
members
answer
living in
by asking
hotels.
one question: does the
Don't
state
talk
want us
about
to
that, do
invest
you?
more,
Wait.
employ more people,
Listen.
and pay more taxes, or not? Thanks.
That was a threat.
Wow.
Firing people.
That was a threat.
Question, please.
Well, Bob,
I
take your
can't- I
tax
can't-
money and go to South
Question
Carolina.
From Michael Nathan.
I can't express how much damage he just did to Disney additionally. But we'll tell it.
I'm in shock.
Oh,
Okay, here's the breakdown. This is a clip out from their live stream.
Yeah, I want to
did
hear what they
not-
say.
Yeah.
I did not think this was going to turn into the poop show that was the annual stockholder meeting last month. I thought this was
Deja
going to
vu
be
all over again.
I really thought, like, I knew that annual stockholder meeting was going to get a little bit more spicy because there's more generally that happens during those in terms of what we talk about here on our channels on YouTube. I did not expect Bob Iger to just go into a riff on Reedy Creek like that during the Q&A. I thought, if anything,
They did ask him the question, right? Why not? I mean, he's got a lot to.
Maybe
I actually think that shows strength that he's not afraid to answer it. Like if we watched Voltaire, we've watched like the Zaslav meetings sometimes. Sometimes he just like gives a pretty weak answer, moves on. We're focused on quality and whatever. We're really beefing up Black Adam, Shazam 2, and the Flash. It's going to be great.
Oh yeah,
No, but he had a lot to say. That showed strength to me. He was very.
He was on MSNBC, and because he's now on CNN, he's trying to restructure CNN and be like, "Well, we want to hear both sides." And he says that, and they keep asking, He's like, "What? Both sides, both sides." It's like,
I think Iger's a baller. What do you think, Voltaire, for like just laying it all out? He didn't seem afraid to answer at all.
It's the right way to do it, and he didn't come up with those on his own. Again, this was cleared through his. They have a whole PR team, and they're working with the lawyers, and they said this is how you're going to present it. 100%.
They knew someone was going to ask.
Oh yeah,
It's
he
big
was
enough.
prepared for this. Yeah.
Yeah. I that's my interpretation. We'll have to wait and see, but I like that he just went. He didn't just give a short answer. He just went, nope. This is. He sounds at least confident in it.
Mr. Gutierrez would have scripted him something to address very calmly with a lot of legalese and being deft about it and diplomatic. But
yeah, like first 15 minutes, Bob.
Yeah, but because all that is scripted. But
I thought that they would respect people not giving in to the mob. Isn't that what they're about? Like the anti-SJWs don't give in to the mob, don't bend the knee. I thought that should show some respect. He's just
and it's funny. They're acknowledging that he had everything scripted, but the script wasn't good enough for them, or he went against it, or he did. Like, are they implying that there's no script?
There was a countersuit that of course DeSantis going to do a countersuit. You just sue each other. That doesn't mean.
I did not expect to have when we got the Q&A where he just went stupid.
It's mind-boggling. He's playing loosey-goosey with something that is billions and billions and billions of dollars. Like, he doesn't do this with the things that would cost them a few million. He's more careful with that kind of stuff.
Two things. One is I'm in shock that this is now our second time that he's basically interacted with the public that are investors. This is the second time in a row he's breached it, and he's not backing down at all. He used the word "we" in relating to a municipal district. Hello?
A lot of conflation.
That is piercing the veil. And the other thing he did that I found baffling to me is how he says he wants to be treated equally. Well, this is a company that got preferential treatment forever, and the fact that he's trying to equate himself as
lots of huge companies. This is what I'm like. Lots of huge companies get preferential treatment.
I like that he was shocked.
Lots of them do. Listen, I'm not no simp for Iger either, but I do think he knows business, and I do think he knows success. And can I be real? I'm not getting into politics either, but if it was true, the rumors before, if Iger wasn't go back to Disney and he was going to end the politics, I think he'd have a good shot too.
Yeah.
He's extremely successful. I think he's going to pull Disney out of this. This is the problems they have. They don't. I'm not naive to their. They have issues right now, right, Voltaire? Disney's got some issues with quality. This specific issue is getting a lot of people angry at them, but I think Iger's going to pull them out of it. No.
Yeah,
That's why they hired him. They brought him back because he's really.
They begged
playing
for him
out-
to come back.
So
he owns a lot of their stock. He probably like, get me back out there.
If you're getting sued and you're on the defense and the legal thing, you have to kind of go in there and you have to kind of swing your dick around and say, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And that's exactly what he did. He showed confidence, that's kind of the way it has to be.
Well, you know what would be worse? If he did metaphorically bend the knee to Outrage, because then the other side's going to get mad at him, and then it's going to be even more of a shit show.
Well,
like if you change complete course to the right, Voltaire. What if he's like, okay, DeSantis, I'll kiss the ring of DeSantis. We'll do whatever you want. We're
no,
then that would be that would even be worse PR, right?
You absolutely can't do that once you're in litigation. Absolutely not.
Yeah,
I don't think you want to do that regardless. I think you'd rather die than bend the knees to the DeSantis.
No, they're in litigation.
No.
This is not. They're fighting right now. This is a fight. So you cannot show any kind of weakness or complacency. You have to show we're ready to go. We're ready to do this, and that's how you get to the negotiation table. Because if you know the other side doesn't want to fight, or is going to be complacent about it somehow, or say, oh yeah, I know we're kind of wrong about this. It's just not going to work,
Yeah. All right.
Discriminated against in some odd way, as opposed to other places that are in districts around. It's just baffling to me.
Do you think he's getting bad information? Because this is
I think
monumentally
he
bad.
Absolutely has the wrong counsel. He is getting, and the fact that
Thank God we have these professionals on YouTube that know all the laws.
His $1,500 an hour attorneys, and
no offense too. Like when the other things are going around with me, and I had all these people saying with 100% certainty that you did this, you did that, not to get into specifics. I'm like, you're a YouTuber, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I know. I don't need to listen to you.
No,
I don't need to listen to YouTubers unless you. In the professionals that that are attorneys on YouTube, that's they have more credibility than most, but they're also on YouTube. That has to be a factor in considering their credibility. I'm not saying it dismisses their credibility, but they're making the majority of their income on YouTube. When am I going to have Mike Zero on the show? He hasn't done any interviews. Baby.
I'd love to have Mike Zero.
I'll reach out to Mike Zero just for you.
I'd love that.
These guys want to. If I'm CEO of a company and I have billions and tens of billions, possibly hundreds of billions, arguably, possibly even $1 trillion in value that I am putting at risk, and I'm going to put it all at risk because I want to, quote, have my company be free speechy about what acts that kids can learn about.
This blows my mind because I know Mexican Iron Man. He frequents all the Geeks and Gamers, Nerdrotics, No Dubs channel, and he's doing this with free speech. This is like completely opposite of what he speeches. He's all for free speech, and he's mocking free speech here.
All right,
this is like blowing my mind.
By the way, I just want to point out. Do you know the YouTube channel Legal Eagle?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So this guy, he's a actual lawyer. I forgot his name. He reacted like lawyer and legal stuff in television and movies. He did one for like Daredevil and all this that. He did a video about Disney versus DeSantis. And he pretty much.
I wasn't gonna bring this up, but Sidney, you're making me laugh when you keep saying
what?
DeSantis.
What do you say? DeSantis? DeSantis, this
I know.
nut,
I'm
whatever.
just,
Yeah, these nuts. That's who he is.
we got to get back to the video because it's getting.
I just say, just look up Legal Eagle.
Yeah.
DeSantis if you when you have time.
I mean, this is kind of entertaining, is it not, Voltaire? I'm like,
I love it.
I was reacted to this. I'm like, maybe I'll watch this later.
Out between K and the third grade. Anybody out there, anybody out there that defends this company and looks at what this company's done, that it is financially that stock price right now is at the same dollar amount that it was when Chapek got escorted out the door the night of the Elton John concert.
And we are not giving anyone financial advice at this moment.
I'm merely making an observation that nothing has changed under the current leadership, and he's had 6 months to do it. Nothing has changed. That is my statistical, factual observation. And I think that and I also heard his voice. When that question got asked, he went from neutral, reading script, innocuous answering question. So I think Valiant picked up on something. That really bothered him getting asked that question.
When it came to time for the biggest...
I don't think it bothered him. I think he was prepared.
Yeah.
That's going to be the sound bites from this whole interaction. Like if you're a smart person, you know what your biggest issues and biggest controversies are when you go in, especially this type of
Chapek doesn't go into anything unprepared.
Earnings call. He knows. So he went from neutral to drive. Absolutely. He's like, I'm going to drive this home. They're going to know how I feel about this certain thing, and I'm not going to back down to the mob.
It's so funny because like Mexican Iron Man and all these WD Pro, like one of their things was Chapek's coming back. He's going to get Kathy Kennedy in line. He's going to do all this stuff, and now they're talking about this kind of thing. It's just ridiculous.
That's
I actually do think he probably had some words with Lucasfilm because they do need to get together. But okay, let's.
Well, did you see the
question out there regarding Florida and a situation where the Walt Disney Company has tens of billions, if not hundreds of billions, if not $1 trillion over the next century of issues at their doorstep? Robert Iger made one of the biggest mistakes I have ever heard out of any CEO. Whereas we may have thought previously that he would have been corrected.
Can I just I'll be nice to most of these people, but WDW Pro, just because you emphasize the word doesn't mean you're the biggest. He's very, very hyperbolic here, man. It's very over the top.
The biggest issue.
Yeah, just because the way he said it.
By his legal advisors, this time he went out and directly, explicitly stated that the Walt Disney Company and Reedy Creek Improvement District were one and the same. And that means that his company was issuing bonds, municipal bonds.
Government bonds.
It's the craziest thing you've ever heard in any report out of any company that I can recall. I can't even imagine the cleanup that now has to occur. The amount of money that was burned away by that. Whereas previously we may have concluded that the state of Florida might avoid this. Bob Iger is now putting it to the Florida investigators to say, here, I will just tell you I'm doing this. Are you going to call us on it? And of course, there's a lot to be weighed on what would happen should that occur. But this was just a shellacking. And you can see it if you go look at other places where, don't leave now, don't leave. But if you go look at other tabs at other places where they're tracking the results, again, we're not giving financial advice, but we're not here to be overly critical. We're not here to be salacious. We're not here to be bombastic. This was an absolute shellacking of the company in every way possible. We now have to begin truly questioning, how big is the boycott? It's not, is there a boycott?
Here we go. I don't know about what he's talking about, the bond thing. I have no idea there.
What thing?
I don't know what he's talking about, but now they're talking about the boycott. That they're saying there is one and it's bigger than you think. I just think yes, there's people boycotting. There's people that are still consuming, but are not paying for Disney stuff, Disney content. They're viewing it. They're obviously watching because all their content revolves around Disney. It's just the quality is slid, right?
Yeah.
They
And
had
also,
shows. They had shows that got canceled. Go ahead, Voltaire.
he was talking about investor sentiment being bad after that thing because of how he spoke. It's not bad because of how he spoke. No investor wants to hear that the company's in a lawsuit and that they're fighting it. They want to hear that it's resolved and we're moving on. So that's going to investor sentiment. But the way he's phrasing it is like, oh my God, look at this. It's because of this and this boycott's real. No, it's not about the big boycott. It's just those people don't care. People who have money in the company, real money in the company, they care about the company making money. And they know being mired in a lawsuit with the state is not going to make them money. So investor sentiment's not good because of that.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, if you're an investor, you're gonna want to. This is over. We're moving on. You know,
but
ambulance stations.
Yeah, now the investors know that the boycott's real and how big it really is. Like, no, it's not that. You know what I mean? This is the kind of bullshit they spin.
It's just if you build it, they will come. And I'm also, I know Voltaire, you're more with me when you're tired of the excuses from Hollywood too. Like these executives that have these universes, they have unlimited resources and they can't still make anything happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Kathy Kennedy has unlimited resources and she keeps failing.
Unlimited resources and one of the best IPs in the world.
Yes.
Ever made.
So they're really, all you have to do is do a decent story and you already have a built-in consumer base for Star Wars, you know, for a movie.
I stand by it. If the three of us were in a writer's room, we'd do better with Star Wars than what they have so far. But anyway.
No, but I'm tired. I am at least tired of the excuses, but it all comes down to quality. And honestly, with the writer's strike happening, you kind of realize why the quality has slid.
Oh, they don't
because
care
they don't care about the writing process. They care about starting filming, release dates, and big names attached to the projects, not the quality of the product itself. Okay. All right, let's finish this out. I don't think I'm going to get to the other articles because it's already 2.
Because it's not. Is there a backlash?
Listen, Senor, I had a bunch of articles too that I'm not getting to because this is a good conversation.
It's how big is this thing and how long will it last?
No, I don't think a lot of the analysts out there, you know, especially the ones on the call and whatnot, I don't know if they quite understand the ramifications of this whole issue in Florida. I think a lot of them are, let's be honest, they're kind of dumb when it comes to this stuff.
Yeah.
I hate to say that. I mean, remember, these are the same analysts that for years wanted to see nothing but sub growth for streaming services. When people like me were screaming that, but they're not making any money. They're just losing money. What about?
Well, for one thing, you're going to have this too with what the Disney Hulu announcement. You're going to have, well, this came out right before the earnings call. Yeah. But that's going to potentially have some benefits in the future with you combining those services, and that might get growth where both Hulu and Disney Plus reached kind of a plateau. We're combining them. I actually think that's a better move than HBO Max merging with Discovery's app.
Right.
I think Hulu Disney Plus makes more sense.
And you know, it's funny you bring that up because we had and this is not a channel that gives financial advice, and we don't give financial advice here. But last week when we had William on and we were talking about all that, about how HBO Max is combining and adding this service to that and making it bigger, and William was against it. I actually bought stock in Warner Brothers after that because I thought this is a good offering. It's okay. So I think streaming is going to turn into, because look at if you think about it, more and more people are not going to have cable, and people are going to age out of cable subscriptions. I'm telling you. So
my mother is retiring. Guess what she's getting rid of first?
Cable. Yeah. Yep. Right. So but your mother also wants to watch the Cooking Net channel, these guys who refab houses and all that kind of crap. They want, I want these shows. I want my 90 Day Fiance. So where can I get the most for because like you can only pick and choose a certain amount of streaming services. I think that's a future. So, And I think in the UK already, Hulu Disney is the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Too bad Teladia's not here because he could confirm.
Well,
that.
I'm just speculating, but I think that's going to start. You're going to start to get Disney Plus growth once they merge.
I agree.
I think that's going to help.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, wouldn't it be more important to find out when they're going to be profitable? Then a year ago, all of a sudden, all the analysts were like, maybe these things need to make money. Oh, welcome aboard. Welcome to the real world. The same thing's going to happen here. They're going to catch up. And I'm not trying to sit here toot my own horn, but I don't look at things in the same bubble. It's like the Hollywood bubble. This is the Wall Street analyst bubble, right? Where you have this group think, this monolithic, very, terrible amount of tunnel
But
vision.
Voltaire, is that, I mean, it's not catastrophic, these.
Absolutely not.
No, it's down 1.2%.
No.
So that,
You don't want a reduction after an earnings call, obviously, but that's not catastrophic, as you say.
Right. And it is a company, like you said, as an investor, you don't want to hear that there's lawsuits and everything going on, but
right.
And their box office has gone down this past year. They haven't had a lot of successes at the box office, but Guardians 3 is doing good. Little Mermaid, you'll start to see this turn around. I believe with if the Little Mermaid's a success, and then also the success of the merging Disney Plus to Hulu. I gotta think you'll start to see this come around. And
I think
all you have to do is go ahead.
Sorry, I think James Gunn going to DC is going to be the best thing for the MCU because I think he's going to up the game and up the competition part of it because he's going to.
Okay.
I think James Gunn is going to be a roaring success at DCEU. I really think he's going to turn it around over there.
Yeah.
So with Little Mermaid, the merger of Hulu and Disney Plus, and then also have some banger announcements at like Comic-Con, where Deadpool is already. I think it started filming already with Hugh Jackman.
Right.
And
I think it's filming. I think it's filming in June.
Yeah, so you can easily have some type of special thing. Yes,
that's going to be a massive
and official casting of Fantastic Four. Say if they did get Margot Robbie as Invisible Woman and Adam Driver as Mr. Fantastic, are you kidding me? Those are some huge announcements. You'll start.
Yeah, along with who's it? Whoever they got for Human Torch and David Diggs.
So
Ben Grimm, and then Antonio Banderas as Galactus. That'll be huge.
So all I'm saying is, I don't know.
What?
Who'd you say is going to play Ben Grimm? So you're a nerd.
David Biggs. He was in Hamilton. He's voicing Sebastian in the Little Mermaid.
All right. So it's not what's her name.
No. That was I think that was a mistake, or that was a troll. I think that was a troll. She's maybe in the movie, but not as bad. Not as a thing. No. It's about Mila Kunis.
I don't think that. Yeah, I don't think that was real. But
yeah, but I think it was okay about the actor. Talking about as Ben Grimm, he's half Jewish. So.
Yeah. But I what's your opinion? I think by the end of this year, the last earnings call of 2023, you're going to start to see pluses here with some of these announcements brewing. I think it's going to turn around by the end of the year.
I think it's going to depend on the Nick Fury series. If the Nick Fury series is fantastic, which I think it will be, it's going to Secret Wars is going to turn things around.
And Ahsoka too.
And
Ahsoka can turn things around too.
And then
I don't think Marvel's is going to move the needle that much, truthfully. But Ahsoka and the Nick Fury show should do something for them. These are the first two Disney projects I've been pumped about. I'm talking personally, but I think other people feel the same way. These are two projects that could really start to get things going for them.
Yeah, the problem with Disney Plus is it's just really just the conscious is Marvel and Disney.
Well,
Marvel
they did other
Star
stuff
Wars.
that got canceled. Like they did National Treasure
Because
spinoff. They did Willow.
Yeah, because they're not putting too much focus on focus and care like they did with Marvel and Star Wars. Right? Maybe
How
they,
did that National Treasure spinoff do?
What?
How did that National Treasure spinoff do?
Not so well. It got canceled in
Yeah,
one
just
season.
like Willow. Okay, so there you go. Okay.
I mean,
Mighty
first of all,
Ducks
they
got canceled too.
yeah, but
Turbo
also
and
because
Hooch.
I mean because National Treasure they didn't bring back Nicolas Cage.
So
There was
like
only-
everyone's this is what the funny thing is. Everyone's like, make original content, do that. And
Yeah.
what happens? We're gonna make more Star Wars sequels and reboots. Marvel.
Well, look, I mean, I think this is why
Use the IP.
Yeah.
They could. I mean, they're Disney. They could go out and get IPs to put in Disney Plus. I mean, or
They-
get like create people who can.
You don't
pick
need
up-
Korean people, Senor Nerd. Look at the video games that the Star Wars video game stories are better than what they've put out. You know what I mean? They have the IP. People know how to use it. They don't know how to
if Fallen Order was a TV series, that would have changed the game. Or if it was a movie,
holy God, it would have.
Oh, yeah.
If it was a movie or a game or if it was a TV series, they would have blown up subscriptions. Absolutely.
they should be looking
the
into these
Old
video game companies.
But I'm saying you can't just rely. Disney Plus cannot rely on just Marvel and Star Wars.
No. They actually should, Voltaire. Look at Neil Druckmann. I know he gets paid a lot of hate on YouTube, but he's extremely successful. Last of Us second game was one of the highest selling games of all time. And then he transitioned to help be a showrunner with the Chernobyl director. And now look at the last. Yeah.
I think they should bring these people in, but they have a thing in their head. Just like for years, people said that Dave Filoni was being held back because he was just doing animation and TV shows for animation. He couldn't do real live action. It's a closed-minded way of thinking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because their writers' room has not been good. It really has left a lot to be desired.
They should be knocking down the door to the not the showrunners, the game runners of Fallen Order. Be like, can you make us a Star Wars project?
Look, watch the clips. CGH actually posts them all the time. The clips of like Old Republic, the cut scenes from that. Why isn't that being done? Why isn't stuff like that being done? It doesn't even make any sense. But anyway.
Well, like I said, if I was in charge, I would do a really high end CGI or animated universe. And I would get some of this talent from these game industries that are really doing some next level game. The game industry is doing better than the movie industry.
It is. Well, look at The Last of Us. They have the
the new God of War reboot too.
Right. The Last of Us, they have the game people on set.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're in the writer's room, they're on set. If you watch the behind the scenes of The Last of Us, they have the game guys talking. Why is it such a thing like, oh my God, no, we can't bring the game guys. What the heck do they know? You know what I mean? Obviously they know something. You know, bring them in to the story group.
Yeah.
Out there with how they perceive how things are operating. And I don't think they see yet, but they are eventually going to come around to the fact that Disney is not going to win this fight against Florida. They're just not. And it's going to cost them significantly more than what they have up to this point to operate that park. And that means Disney can do one of two things. They can either absorb those expenses themselves from their operating income at present, or they can raise prices across the board at Disney parks.
Yeah, assholes. You're going to make Disney World more expensive.
We'll buy a churro for $15 instead of 12, you know?
Yeah, that's what's going to happen. Let's be honest, right?
Yeah.
Disney World's not going anywhere. People aren't going to stop going there, but prices are going up. Thanks a lot, DeSantos, as Senator would say.
Which they already have to a large degree, but part of that has been to the fact that Disney thinks that, again, their parks and experiences are, to a degree, completely elastic. which we covered in a video, price elasticity. I think they're reaching a point where they're going to find out that they're not. They're more inelastic than they're thinking, and I think that's going to accelerate tremendously. Think about this. By the time these court cases are settled, and it's very possible that they could go on for the next year or two with appeals processes and things like this. Right about the time they settle, and we find out certainly definitively that Disney they have no standing in this, and there's nothing that the federal court can do for them. That's right about the time that Epic Universe is going to open.
Yes,
And
I drive by there so many times. It's so
Wait, what?
It must be a new park. I'm not familiar with it.
Epic Universe.
You got to start watching. What's it called? What's his name? Drunk Sepio.
Epic Universe. I mean, okay. Either way, it's not going to. The only thing that's competing.
They're still relying on each other. Yeah.
I mean, the only way Disney, the only thing that's competing Disney in the parks right now is the Nintendo World over Universal.
Oh yeah. I mean, Universal makes a lot of money too, but they rely on each other. They mutually benefit from people coming around. Without one, it could cause issues for both.
Yes, but they're saying like, oh, this Epic Universe, wherever it is. I mean, yeah, but it's not going to take out Disneyland and Disney World. I mean, let's just.
What? Oh, it's a competing park. Is that what it is?
Epic. What was it called?
Epic Universe.
Epic Universe.
Yeah.
I mean, it is.
Talk about a generic name. Just let's put Epic and Universe in the title.
I mean, who's behind it? What big studio behind it? Because
I think it's a Disney. I think they're implying it's a Disney thing, and if it doesn't have a big following to it, that's going to fail. I think that's what they're.
Well, we could stop watching them here and let's bring up this. Yeah, let's bring up this Epic Universe. It does seem interesting because Universal they're doing good. They're silently doing pretty good.
I could send you videos. My brother took his kids to Universal Studios with the Transformers, and I got to tell you because my nephew loves the Transformers. He's 3 years old. It looks really cool. They're doing really good stuff over there, and they love Nintendo, obviously too. Go ahead. Oh, so it is Universal.
Epic Universe is tipped to feature rides and attraction based on Harry Potter and Universal classic monsters.
Yeah, there you go.
The 4th theme park at Universal Orlando. Our vision for Epic Universe is historic. It will build on everything we have done and become the most immersive and innovative theme park we have ever created. Isn't Fast Universal too? Fast 10?
I don't know.
Oh yeah. It's like pretty much anything Universal is under.
Okay. Well, then they should have a fast ride or a car thing. Yeah.
I mean,
2025
opening. The parks very closely, blah blah blah. You're right. That's a mistake. We got to start doing. Max, you need a park hopping channel, like.
I mean, this looks great, though.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing about Disneyland. Like,
ooh,
okay, let's just say,
How to Train Your Dragon.
That's awesome.
Okay, but like, let's just say there was no Disney World. Yeah, in Orlando. Okay, so I went to Orlando in 2000 with my mom. We could probably went there for just a week. If it was just only Universal SeaWorld, we'll be there for a week. We stayed there for 2 weeks. And the most
somebody's doing well.
Well, I mean, that was cheap. I mean, it was 2000. It was like it was cheaper then.
That's true.
Yeah. So it was 99. I remember either 99 or 2000 we went there. And we stood there for 2 weeks. Or maybe not 2 weeks, maybe like 9 days. And majority was for Disney World. Ooh. But if it was if it was only just Universal SeaWorld, we would probably stay there for like 5 days, maybe 4, and then we would be off, go back to New York. So yeah, Disney is important over in Florida.
Yeah, there's no question.
I mean, what
is that? Hang on, what is that Fire World? What is that from?
That's horror. Oh. They're also going to do.
Is that Stranger Things? It's like Stranger Things.
They're doing like classic horrors like Wolfman, Mummy, Dracula, Frankenstein.
Really awesome. So I mean, they had that the show the kind of like the stage show with the Universal monsters.
You know what? I got to save up so I could take my wife here in 2025.
Next, let's have a palate cleanser before here to get something a little more positive after watching. Well, my God.
Yeah,
Those-
you feel negative. Yeah.
Yeah, really.
All right. I have one other thing we could do here. This could. I don't think this will be a spoiler, but let's bring this up here. It's Vin Diesel on the red carpet with Michelle Rodriguez.
Oh dear God, this is so.
What?
What's wrong with that?
Just go
What?
ahead.
Like you're looking at that. Remember that Vin Diesel interview with that Brazilian reporter where he was hitting on her? You think he's doing that?
No. Just watch. Play the clip.
Good
Okay.
sunglasses.
Here we go.
I can say this. Going into making this movie, the studio had asked if this could be a two-parter. And after the studio saw this part one, they said, could you make Fast X, the finale, a trilogy?
Oh! What do you think of that? A trilogy, Voltaire. So
Listen, I'm all
capitalize.
for it. If it's making the money, good for them.
If you're a stockholder, if you're in charge,
Mhm.
and you see what they're doing, they're bringing all these actors in, and including a spoiler that I'm not going to go over from a certain rap article. Yes.
Yeah, and especially if this movie, like Senor Nerd is predicting, is not very good, they need to tease it. Hey, wait, this isn't the only part of it. There's other parts. Don't worry. This one might be
Fast trilogy.
Mhm.
He's thinking, look at that smile. He's making
Oh
so
my,
much
look,
bank.
he's
think-
living
I-
his best life. This
I
guy
think,
is
you know what?
living the life. Look at him. He looks great, by the way.
I think if you keep playing it, I think he kind of like. I think he messed up. I think he's not supposed to say it.
Is that Michelle Rodriguez next to him?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. Age. Yeah. Keep playing it.
Wait, what? Senor Nerd?
She's almost 50. This is. I'm
Oh,
just
is she
saying.
that old? Okay, I didn't know. Okay, she
No,
looks good.
no, she's not. She's almost. She's like almost there.
Mhm. He looks
Like-
great though. He doesn't look like he's
No,
aged.
no, he was looking pretty rough there for a few years, and like toward
Well, okay,
a few years
he
ago,
really-
and
he
like
really-
those Triple X movies, the last one, he looked bad.
Okay,
He was so out of shape. Like
it's HGH and stuff. But go ahead.
Okay.
Only youth for men.
So,
It's 3x in any story. So are you guys confirming
It's 3X in any story.
right now that we're getting a third movie?
Wait a second. I think they are.
Getting a third movie? Wait, did that just happen? Wait.
Yeah, I think he kind of. I think he slipped up.
Well, listen. Listen,
Or
Senator,
premature,
don't be
or
so
maybe-
don't be so naive. These leaks or whatever accidents, the company probably saw what it was trending.
Yep.
They're getting some reaction from their access media that do their influencers. They know projections. They know where it's heading.
Mhm.
They told him to drop this, and then they're like, "Whoops! I didn't mean to say that." It's totally
And this
free marketing.
This red carpet interviewer was in on it too. Like her reaction is super fake.
That the part I disagree with Voltaire.
Oh, really?
I just think that social media people.
She's got cars on her dress,
and,
Matt.
and
Cars.
influencers are just constantly like gaping mouth, like, "Oh my god!" They're constantly. They're broken. Voltaire. Listen, I've been a YouTuber for how many years? Some of these influencers are so broken with social media. They're like, how can I have a gaping mouth, just shocked for a thumbnail or for an interview, and so I can get out there? They're just, my god, about everything. My life has changed. Thank you, Vin Diesel, the trilogy. That's how it is, and that's what. Unfortunately, it works.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I don't know why people click on this shit.
Yeah,
that's like the most depressing thing about being on YouTube. Like, I hate doing the shocked face look on thumbnails. Oh my god!
Do you really? You do a lot of
Yes.
them.
I do it because I know
You got
what
the one where
works.
you're holding your hands on your head a lot.
Yes, that's why I was imitating them. Yes, I don't like that. No, I know what works.
Yeah.
I'm not oblivious to what works.
Yeah.
But,
I get it.
but they're constantly, oh my god.
Hey, where are you guys going?
Oh, see. Oh, I said too much. I said too much.
Are you kidding me?
Look at the cars
Say
on her
this.
dress.
Going into
I'm
making
happy
this
for
movie,
him. I'm happy for him.
Oh, he
I
looks
got one of these days. I'm gonna tell you guys this Vin Diesel story that.
Or do you guys want to know the spoiler? As warning to the chat. And Voltaire, I don't know. I don't
Actually,
think
no.
Voltaire will care.
You put the spoiler in the description, Max.
The article.
I already looked it up when you weren't, so I already know what it is.
All right. Well, spoiler warning to the chat.
Spoiler, everybody, for the Fast X universe.
No, this is significant, though.
It's but it's like, oh, really? You're doing this?
This is a release. This was on purpose, 100%. The more I think about it, but go ahead.
No, it seriously is because
yeah.
Fast X shocker. Dwayne Johnson returns.
What?
Oh.
Oh wow. Did your jaw hit the floor?
There you go. So clip that, Max. Look at your nerd. He's got it for you.
Someone clip this for me. Hold on. Yeah.
Okay.
So that is significant because you heard about the beef that him and Vin Diesel had. You see
the clip going around where he was like calling Tyrese Music a pile of dog shit.
I was going to say,
yeah, I saw that on Twitter.
Jesus, he thinks he's still in the WWE.
Mm-hmm.
What's that?
All you jabronis. He beefs with everybody, it seems like, The Rock.
What the hell's up with this girl's hair? Look at any high school yearbook.
That's clickbait.
I'm not, but what the hell?
Mm-hmm.
But no, that's very. I was not expecting that.
I mean, can we just admit why he's doing this? Because
Wait, hang on, did he die in one of the other movies? Why are you so
the reason that it's surprising that Senior Nerd was shocked is because of the beef, which at some points I thought was manufactured too, but then it seemed real. I'm not sure how much was manufactured and how much was real.
It feel like there's been
because it's like the wrestling heel. You don't know if it's hard to tell if it's genuine or not.
Who was it? Vin Diesel versus The Rock?
Yes. On the
hey brother, this is my car movie. Stay out of it, brother.
No. Remember when Hobbs and Shaw came out? Mm-hmm. The rumors and the reports were that Vin Diesel was upset with The Rock going to the studio doing a spinoff and not including other people like Tyrese, and they're doing a spinoff movie where we're family here, we stick together. And The Rock's all about himself, but I can't tell if it's manufactured or not. I still can't.
Well, then there was an Instagram post where he checked.
No, they sold it hard though. They sold it hard that they really disliked each other.
This sounds like WWE. Hey, brother, how could you make a spin-off without the family?
Remember, there's a so there's two things. There was one where so he wants The Rock to come back to the franchise. So he did like a pleading, almost apology post on Instagram, Vin Diesel, where he tagged Dwayne Johnson, and he mentioned and he brought up his kids, Vin Diesel kids, who calls him Uncle DJ.
Oh my God.
And then he brought up, it'll be great for Pablo, which is the name of the name they give to Paul Walker.
Oh my God, that's terrible. He might as well have had Mean Gene. Well, Mean Gene, I feel bad about this thing with The Rock,
But then Dwayne Johnson said, why you try to kill me, bring your kids and Paul Walker?
Let's see what he says. I don't know what this is, has anything to do with it, but someone's retweeting this. Must has something to do with Fast X.
As you know what's going. A Terramana toast. This is a long overdue after this crazy ass week that I've had, and I'm sure you guys have had a crazy ass week too as well. This Terramana toast is long overdue. It is well deserved.
I don't know what this is.
It is well.
I thought he was going to give a hint.
So grab your Terramana because we're going to do this. We're going to do a Terramana toast together. Not now, but we're going to do it right now.
We has a lot of companies. This is probably promoting us.
Well, Mean Gene, this is a liquor company I own. Yeah. This is
I was
all-
gonna
this is
try to
all
find.
WWE. Come on.
Yeah, I was gonna try to find the. Whoa, this is Luke Skywalker's
Great.
That's
I want that outfit.
see, that's the Luke Skywalker they wanted in the Last Jedi.
I think so.
I retweet a lot of stuff. Did you see the Meg?
Look at.
Oh my god, the trailer looks so good.
It really was a great trailer, quite honestly.
I
You should do a reaction to that trailer. Actually,
I cheer where that T-Rex where
I can't find it. I was trying to find the clip where he's talking about Tyrese.
Oh, the piece of
I got a recipe for you, brother. That's right, Larry.
I think I downloaded the clip because I love it so much.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Voltaire and Senior Nerd. I still got to read. I still got to read the comics for tomorrow. So I gotta get,
Let me see
and
if
it's
you can
supposed to be
hear
at 1 p.m. Michael.
Oh, let's see if you can hear it. Can you hear this?
Don't give me copyright stuff right at the end, brother.
Come on, brother. We got copyrights here.
You heard
What
that?
No.
I was playing the him Disney Tyrese music. The biggest piece of
You were
dog
gonna play
shit.
music?
No.
Oh my
No. He was just talking, saying like, yeah, Tyrese music is the biggest piece of dog shit he ever heard.
Okay.
That was a clip. He said, "Oh yeah, I put the CD in my car, drive it all the way home. It's the biggest piece of dog shit I ever heard."
Okay, you don't have. You said the dog shit so many times. You're getting us demonetized.
There you go, Larry Crow. It's copyright time, brother. I think if you just end every sentence with "brother" in aggressive fashion, it really adds to it. You know.
Good night, brothers. Good night. Good night.
All right, fellas.
All right, bye, everyone.
Everybody have a good night.
All the dogs barking at 2 in the morning. Thank you, Voltaire. Thank you, sir.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right.